Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel, where we slice and dice the week's craziest headlines. Let's jump right in. First up, Apple is about to celebrate its 50th anniversary. 50 years. I mean, was Apple even a thing before I was born? It feels like it just popped up yesterday with the first iPhone. Time flies when you're constantly updating your software, I guess. Speaking of devices, there's a new gadget on the market designed to help you lower your screen time. Let me get this straight. You need to buy another device to control the time you spend on your other devices. What happened to good old-fashioned willpower? Or just, putting your phone in another room. Seems like we're just adding to the problem, not solving it. From tech to billionaires. Apparently, 3 of them went out for chicken and beer and ended up paying for everyone's meal in the entire restaurant. My only question is, can someone please tell me where they're having dinner next? I'll be there. I'll even pretend to be surprised when they pick up the tab. And while we're on the topic of status, a new article claims there are 4 subtle coffee ordering habits that silently signal your social class. Really? I always thought walking into a Starbucks and walking out with a coffee that costs more than a full meal was the biggest social status signal of them all. You don't need a secret code. The price tag says it all. Let's talk weddings. In a town called Old Town, couples got married in a Halloween ceremony, all dressed in Halloween costumes. Honestly, this is genius. Think of all the money they saved on expensive wedding gowns and tuxedos. A zombie bride is probably a lot cheaper than a designer dress, and way more memorable. Of course, we have to talk about Elon Musk. He's reportedly launching his own version of Wikipedia with his AI tool, Grok, supposedly trained on all of Twitter. He could probably generate 50 million pages in about 5 seconds. The real question is, will any of it be accurate? We'll have to wait and see. In some lucky news, a winning lottery ticket for a $980 million jackpot was sold in Georgia. A quick message for the winner, if you're watching. First, congratulations. Second, do whatever it takes to keep your name out of the news. Change your number. Go on a very long, very quiet vacation. Trust me on this one. Back to Apple. Their new $230 cloth iPhone pouch is already sold out. $230 for a little fabric bag. You know what this means? It's time to dig out that old sling bag from the back of your closet. Wear it with confidence. You might just start the next big fashion trend without spending a dime. Here's a bizarre story from Canada. A man decided to take a city bus for a joyride. But here's the twist. He kept stopping to pick up actual passengers along the route. The moral of this story is simple. If your bus driver doesn't ask to see your ticket and seems a little too happy to be there, maybe just get off at the next stop. No questions asked. Over in South Korea, the government actually banned flights for a few hours to avoid noise disturbances. Why? Because 500,000 students were taking their crucial university entrance exams. You just know the parents at home were also enforcing a strict lockdown on TV, K-pop, and social media. Absolute silence for the sake of education. For all you remote workers, Microsoft Teams has a new update coming in December. It will show your work location based on your Wi-Fi signal. So that formal office background you use on video calls, whoa, you won't do you any good. If you're secretly working from a beachside cafe, your Wi-Fi will give you away. The future is here, and it's a bit of a tattletale. How much would you pay for an apple? A Michelin-starred restaurant is presenting a single smoked apple for 4,000 euros. 4,000, but then you reread the words Michelin and presentation together, and suddenly the price starts to make a twisted kind of sense. It's not just food, it's art, I guess. Very, very expensive art. Here's a lesson in modern survival. A hiker who was lost in the mountains for 24 hours ignored calls from the rescue team because they were coming from an unknown number. We've all done it, right? But this is next level. You can bet his grandma will make him save every single emergency contact number in his phone before he ever leaves the house again. Meanwhile, A British tourist in Rome got fined €500 just for dipping his feet into a historic fountain. So, a travel tip for Rome. Watch your wallet for pickpockets, and also watch your feet. Don't let those shoes slip off near any water or it'll be a very expensive paddle. In the world of AI, Google, Gemini is apparently getting better at identifying AI-generated fakes. So, we're now in an era where one AI is being used to find faults with another AI. It's like having robots argue with each other. What a time to be alive. And speaking of AI, Gmail can now read your emails and attachments to train its AI models unless you actively opt out. And if you don't know how to opt out, well, I guess you could always ask an AI for help. See the irony there? Let's get nostalgic. Microsoft Windows just turned 40 years old. 40. If you remember, the infamous blue screen of death. Then congratulations, you've officially been in the tech game for way too long. Welcome to the club. Here's a weird one. Some people are reportedly losing their hair while taking popular weight loss medications. So now you have a choice to make. Lose the weight or keep the hair. It's a tough call. You have to decide what your priority is. And on that note, my goal here is to make you laugh. But even a little smile is good enough for me. Let's keep going. The U.S. Transportation Secretary has proposed an airport dress code. That's right. The days of rolling out of bed and showing up to the airport in your pajamas might be over. You might actually have to put on real pants for your flight. The horror. Here's a useful tip. What's the difference between cilantro and parsley? Apparently, cilantro has 5 leaves on its stem, while parsley has 3. Just don't ask me to spell either of those words, especially after a long day. Get ready to check your attics. A rare Superman No. 1 comic book found in an attic just sold for over $9 million. I don't know about you, but I am definitely going straight to my grandma's attic during my next visit. There could be a fortune hiding up there. In other news, the UK is planning to introduce a pay-per-mile tax on electric cars. It seems they've found a new way to boost revenue. I hope other countries aren't taking notes, or driving is about to get a lot more expensive for everyone. And for our grand finale, Walmart has launched a new 85-inch smart TV that is more than 7 feet wide. It's literally taller than the average person. You don't watch this TV, it watches you. This ties into our final headline. The US president has encouraged Americans to make more babies. Well, here's a thought. Maybe do UNT sell 85-inch TVs that get people permanently hooked to their couches? Or, here's a better idea. Offer a no income tax policy for anyone who has a child. I bet that would work. That's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in to our weekly dose of humor and headlines. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you all next week!